Don't think for a second that the big-name offseason roster cuts have ended.
What is the plan for Brandon Aiyuk?
I think it's safe to say that he's played his last snap with the Niners.
Many teams are strategically waiting until June 1st to release certain players. How about we dive into the 10 biggest NFL names most likely to get cut this offseason? Brandon Aiyuk. The Aiyuk 49ers saga is unlike any other we've seen. In the 2024 offseason, he agreed to a 4-year contract extension worth $120 million, weeks after initially requesting a trade. He got off to a slow start that year, then suffered season-ending ACL and MCL tears in Week 7 against the Kansas City Chiefs. The 49ers expected their superstar wide receiver to return at some point in the 2025 season while they were in an intense playoff push. But Aiyuk reportedly refused to train with his teammates as he was getting healthier, instead preferring to keep to himself. And sure enough, the season passed with no return of Aiyuk. GM John Lynch then publicly stated that Aiyuk had played his last game as a 49er, all but assuring a divorce. Cutting Aiyuk would save the 49ers $6.3 million in 2026, $33.1 million for 2027, and $34.987 million for 2028. And by the way, the 49ers don't exactly need Aiyuk anymore after signing future Hall of Famer Mike Evans and using the number 33 pick on Ole Miss wideout Dejon Stribling. Aiyuk once looked like a player who was on a Hall of Fame trajectory, but he's either going to be traded or cut by the 49ers before Week 1 even rolls around. It's a matter of when, not if. Alvin Kamara. Before the 2025 NFL trade deadline, Kamara said that he would retire if the New Orleans Saints traded him. Even with New Orleans well out of playoff contention, Kamara made it clear that he wasn't interested in chasing a ring elsewhere. But it's not up to Kamara if he plays in New Orleans next season. The Saints signed former Jacksonville Jaguars star running back Travis Etienne Jr. to a 4-year deal worth $48 million. Another clear indicator that they do not plan to keep Kamara around long term. Cutting Kamara would only save the Saints $376,000, which is essentially pocket change, but still, this is a team in transition mode. Nobody should be surprised if Kamara is let go before the preseason rolls around. Denzel Ward. Don't let a third straight Pro Bowl nod deceive you. Ward has been on the decline for a couple of years. He's just lucky that Pro Bowl voting is largely a popularity contest. Few cornerbacks were as elite as Ward from 2018 to 2023. In each of his first 6 seasons, he allowed a passer rating of 78.3 or lower, according to Pro Football Reference, which includes a hilarious 56.2 passer rating in 2023. Inexplicably, Ward's regression began in 2024 after arguably the best season of his career. He allowed 716 yards in coverage and a passer rating of 92.8. In 2025, he allowed a career worst 61.3 completion percentage when targeted and a passer rating of 88.1. Thanks to the stupid Deshaun Watson trade and contract, the Browns are in a salary cap predicament. One easy way out of this mess? Releasing the veteran cornerback, Kristian Fulton. The Kansas City Chiefs already made one notable roster cut, moving on from veteran offensive tackle Jawan Taylor. That was at the start of the new league year. By no means should one believe that GM Brett Veach is done clearing out cap space. Last year, the Chiefs signed former Los Angeles Chargers cornerback Kristian Fulton to a 2-year deal worth $20 million. Fulton struggled in his transition to Steve Spagnuolo's defensive scheme and was limited to 8 games in 2025 due to injury. Kansas City remade its cornerback room in the offseason. They traded Trent McDuffie to the Los Angeles Rams and let Jalen Watson walk to free agency. KC then moved up to take LSU corner Mansour Delane with the number 6 pick. Cutting Fulton would save the cap-strapped Chiefs $5 million before the 2026 season. That cap space could be used for Veach to bring in another serviceable veteran or two before preseason begins. Veach can just trust Spags and Andy Reid to develop quality replacements. Kmet. Many were surprised when the Chicago Bears used their 2025 first-round picks on Michigan tight end Colston Loveland. I mean, they already had plenty of pass-catching weapons, including veteran tight end Kmet. Well, turns out the Bears knew exactly what they were doing the entire time. Loveland finished the year with 58 receptions for 713 yards and 6 touchdowns, all tops on the team. His contributions helped Caleb Williams enjoy a breakout year, guiding Chicago to an NFC North Division crown and surprise trip to the divisional round. While Loveland enjoyed a superb rookie year, Kmet's production dropped significantly. He finished with just 30 receptions for 347 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kmet has 2 years remaining on a $50 million extension that he signed in the 2023 offseason. Cutting him would only save the Bears $2.35 million against the cap for 2026. But that number increases to $10 million for 2027. Absolutely worth it. Patrick Queen. Queen had 4 up-and-down seasons with the Baltimore Ravens, who decided the bad outweighed the good. He left in 2024 free agency, signing with the arch-rival Pittsburgh Steelers on a 3-year deal worth $41 million. Queen was supposed to add more juice to a stacked Pittsburgh front 7, already featuring TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, and Cameron Hayward. He had a solid first year with the Steelers, but regressed miserably in 2025 to finish the year with a Pro Football Focus grade of 44.0. Pittsburgh's expensive and underperforming defense needs a reset, and cutting Queen could be that starting point. If the Steelers cut him, they would save a hefty, $10.8 million against the salary cap? If GM Omar Khan could find a taker via trade, then hey, Pittsburgh would save $13.3 million. The reality is, Queen's inconsistent production does not justify his hefty salary. And new Pittsburgh head coach Mike McCarthy wasn't here when Pittsburgh signed Queen. If he doesn't think the 2-time Pro Bowler fits, the Steelers have no reason to keep him. It feels like the Steelers are ready to rebuild from scratch when Rodgers inevitably retires next year. So why not get a head start now by moving on from one of your overpaid veterans, Aiyuk Armstead. Following his release from the 49ers in 2024, Armstead was scooped up by the Jacksonville Jaguars on a 3-year deal worth $43.5 million. After a miserable 2024 campaign, the veteran defensive end bounced back nicely with 5.5 sacks, his best since 2021, helping the Jags to a surprise 13-win season and AFC South Division crown. But the fact remains that Armstead makes too much money for a non-Pro Bowl caliber defensive lineman, and the Jaguars would save $14.48 million if they cut him before the regular season. Jacksonville already has 2 premier edge rushers in Trayvon Walker and Josh Haynes-Allen. Rookies Albert Reeders and Wesley Williams could seek meaningful reps as well if the Jaguars were to cut Armstead. And hey, shed no tears for Armstead if the Jaguars decide to cut him, because he would draw plenty of interest from other teams. The man would be playing again in no time. Marlon Humphrey. Humphrey was once in the discussion as the NFL's best cornerback. The 2017 first-round pick has been a mainstay in the Baltimore Ravens secondary, earning 4 Pro Bowl and 2 first-team All-Pro selections. But, as everyone knows, the Ravens' usually stingy defense kept getting worse and worse under John Harbaugh before he was fired after the 2025 season. And Humphrey's inexplicable regression was a key reason why the Ravens couldn't hold on to double-digit fourth-quarter leads to save their lives. The Ravens have a problem with being too loyal to certain players. At some point, the loyalty thing has to go out the window. They can at least start now. And yes, the Ravens secondary should be fine with Kyle Hamilton, Malachi Starks, and Nate Wiggins leading the way. Tony Pollard. The one-time Pro Bowler has lived up to the first 2 seasons of a 3-year deal that he signed with the Tennessee Titans in 2024 free agency. Pollard has proven that he wasn't just a product of the Dallas Cowboys system, recording consecutive 1,000-yard rushing seasons in Tennessee. But Titans GM Mike Bergonzi wasn't here when the Titans signed Pollard. And Bergonzi just hired a new head coach in Robert Saleh, with ex-New York Giants head coach Brian Daboll taking over as the new OC. So, the loyalty aspect does not apply here. Cutting Pollard would save the rebuilding Titans $7.25 million against the salary cap. They also have veteran Tyjae Spears waiting for a bigger role. Also, Bergonzi used a 5th-round pick on Penn State running back Nicholas Singleton. We doubt the Titans would draft Singleton to simply be a number 3 running back. High-C veterans with plenty of mileage are hard to trade. If the Titans could find someone to take on the last year of Pollard's contract, great, but that is much easier said than done. So, Tennessee may as well cut Pollard and use an RB by committee approach with Spears and Singleton. With Pollard getting up there in age, he might even welcome a fresh start if it allows him to play on a more competitive team. I mean, it's not like the Titans are really gonna do much in 2026. Anthony Richardson. Richardson lost his starting job to free agent signing Daniel Jones last year. With Danny Dimes putting together a career year before his season-ending injury, an A-Rich trade felt inevitable. And yet, it still hasn't quite materialized. A little weird. How much has Indy given up on Richardson? Well, so much so that they brought a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers out of a 5-year retirement to take over as a QB1 after Jones tore his Achilles. The Colts gave Richardson permission to seek a trade before the new league year began, but even with the draft well behind us, the number 4 pick of 2023 is somehow still on Indy's roster. Indy seems to like Riley Leonard as a backup to Jones, so unless they find a trade partner for Richardson, the Colts should do the right thing and just release him. There is no benefit to keeping around a young QB who wants a fresh start that would just leave in 2027 free agency anyway. But hey, which other big NFL names are likely to get cut this offseason? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around with TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.